York State Department of Transportation presents the DOT POD.
And welcome into the DOT POD. I'm Josh Heller.
And I'm Anya Cardos.
And we are delighted to have you joining us. May sound a little bit different in here today. That is because we are not coming to you from our DOT POD studios, but in fact are on location for the first time. We have hit which seems apropos. We are a Department of Transportation podcast. We should be on the road, and we are on location in Cobleskill, New York, as we took a trip to the Curtis Mott building at SUNY Cobleskill campus. And we're going to describe what we're looking at here, but there are massive labs full of tractors, trucks, heavy equipment. All of these things are used to teach the next generation of technicians, and this space is the perfect backdrop for today's episode, which is the NYSDOT SUNY Cobleskill internship program.
It sure is. This is an amazing place with all these labs filled with incredible equipment. Joining us to talk about this incredible program is Shane Gilchrest. He's with DOT's Office of Fleet Administration. Also, Kaden Marvin, an instructor here, as well as current SUNY Cobleskill student Cherizard. He attended DOT's internship program this past summer, so they've all got a lot to talk about.
And we'll be hearing from Corey in just a little bit. I guess we'll start out with Shane. And, for those who might not be familiar, Shane, tell us a little bit about the Office of Fleet Administration and what it does.
The Office of Fleet Administration is an internal service provider to the agency specifically, but we also maintain all of the equipment for the docks for the food service division that delivers food to the prisons. We also maintain all the heavy equipment for Central New York parks. The size of the fleet, including attachments, is about 11,000 pieces of equipment. 7,000 of that is rolling stock. When we're fully staffed, we have about 300 technicians. We have a number of supervisors. We have a huge parts operation that has 10 regional stocking facilities and 70 satellite locations that we supply. We procure about $30 million a year in parts. We carry about $20 million in inventory. We buy $75 to $80 million a year in equipment. We produce 100,000 work orders internally annually. We spend about $20 million a year on commercial work that goes out to dealers. So there's a lot of moving pieces to it, and it doesn't happen without a lot of people doing a lot of hard work every day of the year.
The program itself started back in 2015. When you spearheaded this idea, talk about what the genesis of it was and what the need for it was and still frankly is.
So the background really originated from the recognition that there was a shortage of technicians looming. We had an opportunity to partner with Cobleskill, where the students within the Ag and Tech and Diesel Technology program could do the required internships at DOT. We felt that was a win for us and a win for the students. Fast forward to today, we've expanded that partnership to include doing outreach together, making sure that students not only do internships and have successful careers beyond that, but we also loan equipment once it's beyond its useful life at DOT for training purposes. And what we've done is expanded down into the lower schools. What's happened at a lot of the colleges, kids aren't going to school to do this. There is a shortage, thousands of technicians across the country. There's many retiring, and there's not enough of them coming into the workforce. So now we go in to the high schools and encourage young people to come and see what we have to offer. We do job shadowing as a junior. We do work-based learning that's managed through the BOCES or the CTE programs, where it's a paid internship. Spend a couple days in the classroom, a couple days with us, and then encourage them to go on to a school here. We've also partnered with industry to make sure that industry, colleges, and the CTE and BOCES and high school programs all have the same message, that these are good jobs, that these are not a consolation prize to go to BOCES or to become a technician and get your hands dirty. We don't have to look down the bridge of our nose at people as if they're less than that. So that partnership is really important to get that message out to young people. If you think about it, it's an economic development issue for the state. Where did your food come from? Somebody had to fix that combine that harvested the food. Nothing in this room didn't get here that wasn't on a truck. Somebody had to fix that truck. Nobody walked here. Somebody had to fix that car. And DOT has a huge capital program with federal money that's available We need people that are going to fix that equipment, and we need people in the trades, CDL drivers, welders, you name it, across the board. The industry of the trades is suffering, and we need to make sure that that moves forward.
Kaden, talking about this kind of training, and that's critical to all of this, not just interest and outreach, but really real-world hands-on training. What do students get when they enter into this program?
Yeah, so when students enter into this program, really they're entering into a shop-like atmosphere. They're being exposed to diesel engines, transmissions, hydraulics, all the electrical systems that you would see on every piece of equipment. We have a lot of industry partners, DOT, Anderson Equipment, Milton Caterpillar, that we have lots of equipment for them to work with. We are a John Deere tech school, so we get a lot of support from John Deere as well. And the students, they come in, we link them with a dealership or some sort of thing where they're going to be working on the equipment. So we try to link them and get them into a career. But while they're here, they're learning how to fix the stuff. We go around, we put bugs in things and try to get them to understand how to accurately diagnose it and follow through and fix it and make it right. So
you deliberately put like little crimson lines or things that might that they don't know are there, little monkey wrenches here and there?
Oh, yeah. So that's one of the most fun parts of this for me anyway. So growing up, it was always, all right, I have this machine that doesn't work, and how do I make it work? And, when I can get the light bulb to go off in my own head, it's like, yes, I got it. But now I know what I broke, and now I got to get that light bulb to come on in the student's eyes. And it's pretty cool when I can get that. It's a little bit different satisfaction, but it's the same feeling that I get when it's like, all right, they got it. So it's a lot. It's a lot of fun.
One of the tough things about a podcast is that it's audio only. But let's paint a picture for where we are, and we're in one of many different labs here that have just stuffed full of equipment, of trucks, of tractors. Just kind of paint us a picture of what's going on here, and that's not to even include all the classrooms that are in this building as well. What kinds of things would they see? Would they be able to work with when they walk in here?
Yeah, so right now we're in one of the main labs. We use this for our DOT training, our electrical diagnostics class, our engines class. And when we walk in this room and look around right now, we've got engines, whether a little bit older with some mechanical fuel systems or a brand new engine, tier 4 final with all the after treatment systems that everyone's, trying to struggle with and learn how to diagnose now. We have training aids that we've gone through and built, whether it's just based on a little board where it's a simple circuit that then we take and link it to that machine, or we have full skid steers right behind us that we've kind of taken all the unnecessary stuff off of, so it's just the mechanical and electronic and hydraulic components, and we go through and show them how everything's working and how it's not working when I break it, so we can go through and get them to understand it and fix it when it's out in the middle of a field and someone's calling them to say, hey, this thing's stuck, I got to get this thing going. So
when students come in here, what kind of, I imagine there's all sorts of backgrounds. Some probably have some background in this type of equipment, and some probably are coming in without any kind of experience.
And that's one of the biggest challenges we're running into. So years ago, everyone, had a dirt bike or a quad, or they had something that they tinkered with. People used to tinker. And as stuff has gotten more and more complicated, we're seeing people tinker less and less. So there's a big variance of hand skills that people come in with. Some people come in, like me, I grew up in a family-owned truck and heavy equipment repair shop. So I had quite a bit of hand skills. I had quite a bit of background knowledge. But some students, they come in just because they saw it in a magazine and said, hey, that looks cool. I want to do that. I don't know anything about it. And here at the school, we try to, have stuff for everyone. We try to get it so one of the very first courses that these students take is our agricultural mechanics course, and it's a foundational shop course. Basically, it's shop skills, gets them to understand shop safety, tools and fasteners, and we go through and rebuild water pumps and do front and rear main seals and understand some simple powertrain components, but just to get the foundation, so then that they can go and apply it in all the other classes. So that way, when they go to all the other classes, they don't break every bolt they touch, because in that class, we go and break every bolt we can find and make them get it out and learn the hard way.
And this goes beyond just taking a laptop and hooking it up to a machine. This is now entering a totally new phase and going into areas of like IT, EV stuff as well. Maybe both of you can kind of talk about that industry-wise, Shane, and how that is affecting the program and the future of this program.
Yeah, so the industry, of course, is driving it. So whatever the industry is moving toward, we're moving more toward EV. We just bought a brand new EV trainer. There's a fully electric Volvo wheel loader right outside that we're trying to build the pipeline of materials so we can go and train on that as that equipment becomes more relevant in the industry. So the industry is definitely what drives it, and we just gotta kind of adapt and build upon it. Sure, we still teach on the old stuff. We show how it used to work, but we use that to show the evolution of, hey, this is where we were, this is where we are now, and it really gets a well-rounded technician in the end.
And Shane, where are we going then with this kind of training, and where is the need right now and in the future?
Well, I think it's important, the piece that Kaden brought up about students coming to this program that may not have the level of experience that they did in the past. And we're seeing that on the DOT side as well. We've got a lot of folks that used to come to us that had heavy equipment or agriculture or trucking background. Now they come from an automotive background, which is why we're contracting with SUNY Cobleskill to train in the areas that we need to have our folks proficient at, like air brake training and hydraulic training. And in addition to that, as Kaden said, the industry is changing such, so we have to get our workforce ready for EV. So we're putting them all through an EV program. Our folks because our fleet is so diverse, it's really agricultural, construction, and trucking. Sometimes they pull out a laptop to start making repairs. Other time they're pulling out specialty tools to make those repairs. It's very diverse.
Beyond the internship program, which we've been talking about, we also, DOT also enrolls current department technicians in continued education sessions here at SUNY Cobleskill throughout their careers. Talk a little bit about that, not only about that partnership, but about the importance of that continuing education, which kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that the industry is what drives this and is constantly evolving.
It is. So there's kind of an evolution from the high school level to the college level to moving into the workforce. Once they come to work for us, they have a basic understanding of what they're looking at. It doesn't negate the need for additional training from the manufacturer. So if we don't continually send our folks for training, whether it be here or to the manufacturers, we fall behind. And we can't afford to not have our folks well trained. For example, one of our plow trucks is over $300,000. So we need to have a skilled workforce to make sure that those trucks are fixed properly, and available for the maintenance folks to do their job and plow snow. And that's just one aspect of what the department does. There's many others, mowing and ditching and other things that go on.
So how can students here get connected with DOT? How does that specifically work?
So at the college here, they'll bring it happened this morning. Rob Cross, who's one of the instructors, brought a student to me and said, hey, this young man is in the program here and he's looking to do an internship. So I sat down with him and I said, okay, where do you live and where are you? What do you want to do? Do you want to work on heavy equipment? And I gave him my card and I said, send me all your information, when you want to do your internship. And then what we'll do is hook him up with the region that he lives in, with the manager there, and they'll bring him in and go through the whole process, teach him how to do those interview skills, how to do a lot of the soft skills that are important to learn. Make sure your resume is in order. Make sure you're looking somebody in the eye and answering clearly, looking at the people you're talking to, and then bring them in and expose them to various parts of our operation. Could be how our parts department works, how we do repairs, work orders, etc.
And if I could, just to kind of add on to that, part of this relationship is that it puts DOT out there. It says, hey, this is another opportunity that you guys have available to you. DOT might not be the first place that a lot of these guys go. They might want to go to the Caterpillar dealership, to the John Deere dealership, or whatever dealership they're linked with, but it might be the last place to go. So they might go spend a couple of years in the dealership and then, I want to change the scenery. I want to work on, a wide variety of things instead of just one manufacturer. And then they'll find their way into DOT and that'll be where they stay. So if they weren't exposed to it, they might not even know it's an option. So even just having it available to them and seeing, the DOT truck in the labs and things like that, it gets students to kind of think, hey, there's other stuff out there than just the dealership.
Well, Kaden, first of all, thank you for welcoming us in here and taking the time to sit and chat with us. It's been really interesting, really enlightening. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's been a lot of fun working with you guys, and I look to keep moving this partnership forward.
Absolutely.
Thank
So we're
you.
going to welcome in a different perspective now, a perspective of someone who has been through this program and is currently a student at SUNY Cobleskill, to kind of give us the inside scoop, if you will, for someone who has gone right through it. And Corey, we appreciate you taking the time and sitting with us and chatting with us.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here.
So, Corey, you were in the program with DOT, with the internship program over the summer. What was that like for you? Talk about that.
Well, it was really enjoyable, honestly. Everyone was really friendly over there, and a lot of really experienced technicians who were able to guide me through the program and help me out.
Talk about getting your hands on equipment and what that was like for you, because you can read stuff in a book, you can read it online, but to really have it in your hands. Talk about those aha moments when you were working on stuff.
Well, a lot of the stuff is taught in the lecture portion, and then when I go to the lab, it explodes, and I'm like,
That's
oh
the
my
fun part.
gosh.
That's the fun part.
It makes sense, So that was really nice.
Talk about what was your day typically like when you would come in, and what was some of the equipment that you worked on that you never really had that opportunity to do before?
Well, I think the most interesting piece of equipment I got the opportunity to work on was I think it was a 1970s roller. Actually, it was a ground compactor. We brought it in. There was a paving project happening in the parking lot, and coincidentally, it needed to be worked on. But that was really interesting because I never knew we had something that old, but it was still going. It was still pushing along. So yeah, that was really interesting.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and also how you kind of developed an interest in this technical field?
Well, I'm from the upstate New York area. I'm kind of a little bit from Schoharie County. I lived out here for a while, and I'm a little bit from the Albany area because I grew up there. But I got interested in the industry mostly through passion. I didn't really have too much exposure to it prior to college. I was always interested in trucks as a kid, and big truck was my first word, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It was destiny.
Definitely. Yeah, you can say that. And I lived around here for a while, and I saw the school, so I came for a tour, and I saw the Curtis Mott building and all the stuff they had to offer. So I definitely want to be part of this program, for sure.
And when we talked with Kaden, he was talking about there is a wide variety of experiences. So you didn't have a ton of experience in this when you joined, but it doesn't seem like that slowed you down.
No, not at all. It's having experience helps you move through it quicker, but they give you all the resources you need so that when you start, you could know nothing, and then when you get out, you can know everything. So plus more, obviously.
Looking toward your future, where do you think you might fit in, and where you feel you want to go?
The world is my oyster right now, thanks to the program. I could really go anywhere. It's hard to say right now. I have to see what's out there.
Yeah, and Shane, this seems like a great example of how the program provides a solid future for a number of young people. What kind of outreach is the program involved in to attract these future skilled trade employees?
So we've expanded our outreach program. Bill Chero, who used to be one of our supervising managers, we brought him back after retirement to work a couple days a week, and he coordinates with many of the BOCES and colleges around and outreach opportunities, Department of Labor, et cetera. And we have each region where they're at. The managers or supervisors will attend those and offer up what's possible. We've done open houses where we have a whole boatload of kids come in from a BOCES and just walk them around and show them what it's like, so they get exposed to it. We have a lot of time invested in it, but just an order of magnitude, if we lose a technician, that's 1,500 hours of work that we have to send to a dealer at a minimum of $150 an hour. So it's $225,000 cost to the agency. So if we hire one person, that's the order of magnitude of the savings that we get back to the agency.
So your outreach is really going not just into the high schools, and high schoolers can participate in the internship program with DOT, but also outreach is going as young as middle school age.
Yeah, actually, Cobleskill here has a summer enrichment program for 6th to 8th graders just to show them what's possible, to get them interested so they're thinking about it when they get to high school.
And at the high school level, these are paid internships as well.
That's correct. I think it's $19.51 an hour for a college intern, and it's the same for the work-based learning BOCES students when they're seniors. So it is an opportunity to make a few dollars and get some experience in the industry that they're studying in.
I want to go back to what you were talking about with the institutional knowledge that gets lost, and how important this type of program is to try to almost re-inject the agency with with that knowledge, to not only for that time and for the savings, but just moving forward for someone to take that career in the public service. It really is crucial.
Well, and I think the important thing is that all of us who participate, the education system and industry, have the same message to the young folks that are coming up, that these are good jobs. As I mentioned, it's not a consolation prize to go to BOCES. You have to be very smart to do this. So industry, college, high school, all need to participate and say, these are good jobs. Your career and your education around that is just as valuable as any other career and education that's out there.
Speaking of that, what would you like to say, if you could, to parents who are trying to help guide their kids into a future career about working as a technician and getting this kind of skill set?
We're fighting 50 years of negative publicity for the industry. And I would encourage parents and anyone who is not aware to take a second look at the skill sets that are needed. It really is a STEM career. It's not labeled as such, but you have to be smart to do it. These are opportunities, and everyone gets placed, and they're never unemployed.
And Corey, what would be the one thing that you could say to people, young people, the next generation of possible technicians, why this would be a great industry for them to enter into?
Well, we need to, like Shane was saying, we need to keep the world moving, and the world moves on machines, So it's a really, really secure industry to get into, and there's a wide range of stuff you can work on, mobile equipment, stationary equipment, power generation, So it's a great industry, through and through.
We've kind of changed our focus at DOT from being selfish and trying to attract just for ourselves to a recognition that we play a bigger role as one of the largest employer of technicians. Our message to our managers and our folks in the region: make sure these young folks have a positive experience, because at the end of the day, we need them to stay in the industry. Whether they work for us or someone else, it doesn't matter. And chances are we're going to send work to a dealership that may have hired those folks. So there's an ancillary benefit to us as well.
So it comes around no matter what.
It does. We're all in this together.
It's a small world.
It is.
It is a small world. Well, I want to thank both of you, and obviously Kaden as well, for taking the time out of your day to talk with us and tell us about your experiences. Shane, for telling us more about the program, and SUNY Cobleskill overall for inviting us in here and giving us a chance to hit the road and do this. We really, really do appreciate.
And anyone interested in this program, it's certificate, associates, and bachelor's.
That's correct.
With this program. So anyone who's interested can contact SUNY Cobleskill to get more information.
Or us at DOT.
Well, again, thanks to everyone for tuning in this week. Anya, had a fun one.
Oh, this is such a great program, and it's so great to see young people who are going to be the future generation of technicians getting excited and entering this field.
And well, I do love the DOT POD studios getting on the road.
I like this.
Yeah, right?
It's
not
fun.
bad, not bad. So thank you all for tuning in this episode, and be sure wherever you listen to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a rating, give us a review. You can also reach out to us, podcast at dot.ny.gov. Anya, and until next time, we'll see you right here on the DOT BOD.